Hi guys, and thank you for joining me. This is going to be your 2015 review reading. I know it's coming in the end of January. However, I think that it's still going to provide you guys with all the questions that you have. So answer all the questions that you have for the month. I'm reading with the Alexander Daniloff Tarot deck, and I'm using only the trumps from his deck. But the deck with the lower arcana, which is all 78 cards, I am selling on my website, and you can get the link below. I believe this deck is one of the best decks out there, and that's why I chose it. So, without further ado, let's begin your reading. Hello Capricorn, and thank you for waiting for this reading for 2015. So happy new year. First of all, I know it's a little belated, but I'm excited to read for you. Now, you weren't supposed to be next in line, but I have an in with a little Capricorn I know who's been a very nice person to me and has been supporting me throughout the whole year in my growth as Varouche Tarot, and that's Johnny. So you guys can all say thanks to Johnny in the about section and wish her a happy birthday, as it is a happy birthday for all of you, at least for a few more days. Anyway, so I'm shuffling up the cards and giving it a good stir, and I'm excited to read to see what 2015 brings for you. I already see the bottom card, but I'll lay it out before I really break it down for you. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, wow, you've got the Tower in your own position for the year. There we go. Now I'm reading with all the trumps, so of course you're going to see every single card come up. And so, you know, when you see the Tower come up in your position or another card come up that you don't feel that great about, just remember that that's going to really be modified by all the cards around it and work together in a system. So it's not, you're going to see every single trump come up. So it's going to be really contingent on the other cards around it and where the position is, etc. So don't worry too much. You're going to see the Devil, you're going to see the Death card, and it's all going to fit together nicely for you. And in fact, the outcome is very positive. It's the Wheel of Fortune and a transition for you in the winter of 2015. Okay, so let's begin with the reading. And I put my sheet down so you guys can see the cards better. Of course, like I said already, I'm reading with the Daniloff Tarot deck. At the center of everything is an achievement of balance, moving towards greater balance from a place of imbalance. So wherever there was flux, there's now come stability, and it's something that was in moments when you as Capricorn were disadvantaged in the past. Now you will be attaining a new level of balance and stability and safety in those places. So achievement of balance and movement towards a more level playing field. In particular, if you are dealing with any kind of contract issues or legal pursuits, then expect them to go in your favor. And remember that this is the card that requires that you read everything thoroughly. Make sure you know what kind of arrangements you're stepping into and what you're actually signing. So make sure that you have a clear perspective on the rules of the game, and don't let anything, don't be you know, haphazard about anything. You need to really follow through. You need to read every single word, particularly in legal contracts. Make sure that you are being just yourself in your dealings with other people, particularly because of the position of this card right here. You will get judged if you do choose to fool around, if you choose to be disloyal or dishonest, then that's going to really come back on you really quickly. But conversely, this is saying that you have done nothing wrong, and so therefore there's a balance that's being achieved in your favor. So you don't want to mess it up. You're starting off the year and the whole circumstance is revolving around a positive message that you've done good, and now you can move forward with that goodness, and that's going to help you with the things that are not so good in your life. The thing that's crossing is kind of the outer manifestation of this kind of achievement of balance, and that's the Strength card. The Strength card is associated with Leo, so expect the key dates of your year to be around July. And also the Strength card signifies that there's a taming of your inner passions and inner instincts. So you're getting really in touch with who you are and what you want out of life, but keeping that in check with regard to vis-a-vis the reality of things. And so there's a grace and an elegance that is associated with this card. It's the balance between passion and between proper judgment and good conduct. There's a difference. There's the card called the Devil here, and so what the Strength is the humble and the poised version of the Devil. Now without the poise and the humility, you become the Devil. And so this card talks of tolerance, it talks of moderation, it talks of a balance achieved in your life. And so this is the kind of energy that you are interacting with your entire environment with. So that's what becomes key. So quite a paced beginning to the whole year. The whole year will take on this form of these two cards, and that talks about moderation, humility, and achieving balance for the things that were imbalanced in your life in the past, so that you may move forward in positive ways. And so this is kind of like the justification of everything that has been going on, that has been out of place, out of sorts, that has not been cohesive. This is going to be the reconcilement of those issues, and you will enter into many interactions with people, situations, and things that are going to emancipate you from the things that are oppressive in your life, from the things, the scars basically. So your scars are being removed this year. Okay? So this is the center of the reading, which really gives a summary of what's going on. And here we're going to take a look at the outer manifestation of everything that's going on. And that's really associated with the Strength card. But it just talks about your social environment and what a neat environment you have. You have the Lovers here right next to the Emperor. And the card here itself is the card of Art and Temperance. Now remember, the Lovers also represent the brothers and fraternity. Very easily this year, many of you can have your significant other really interacting with your family, your biological family, at a level that they never have before. Together, these cards really signify that you could be coming into a very significant union with another person in terms of married life, family life, and a holy communion with someone that is very spiritual and is based in a long-term commitment, like ending in a situation like children or with long-term planning. Now the guarantee isn't here that that relationship will last. Even more so, I get the sense that this relationship, albeit serious, may actually end up ending at some point in time. And the word was divorce that came to mind. Now, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what the inspiration is, and I kind of hesitated to tell you, but that's what the interpretation was. However, this year you will be very exalted by this relationship. You will fuse together in this relationship and feel balanced within the relationship that you do have. The card that these two cards are modifying is that of Art and Temperance, and that is the balance between the spirit and emotion. So you are taking on information, you're combining it with the antithesis of that, and then it's coming out through you in a synthesis in a different form. Now this can be a creative form, such as writing, or maybe even possibly writing or art of some kind, or any kind of expression. Now I know not everybody is creative, not everyone wants to be creative, so not for everyone it would manifest as that kind of thing. For some people, it would manifest as an activity that you would be doing, such as a new sport like racquetball or whatever you do. So there is an externalization of the experience that you're having with other people in your life. I think that at this time, the Emperor and your family members or the lovers, which could be brothers and sisters, are really playing a significant role in your life, and they're really the steamship of your year, of your experiences. I think, in fact, they're as much as I said that I sense that if this is a relationship, then it's going to end up in divorce. At this point, this person is protecting you, and this person is keeping you where you need to be in order to achieve that you want the things that you want. So if you're listening to this and you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you're like, well, I'm not going to be with this person if it's going to end up in divorce, I warn you against breaking it off, because at this time, this relationship is extremely supportive and it serves a purpose. And so by feeling like you have the perspective at hand, and you know that this is not a relationship you want to pursue, even though it's working right now. I'm not talking about people who are in relationships that are not working. Then don't make the decision to terminate the relationship, because I think right now it serves a purpose for you. And in fact, this year, throughout the whole year, this relationship is very significant and important for your well-being. So you want to really maintain that. That relationship supports your creativity. It supports your inner expression. It supports your ability to move forward in circumstances. So I think that it really feeds into a really healthy outward expression of your life in general. And I think that you'll get a lot of support, and not support, you'll get a lot of reinforcement from family as a result of that relationship, because your family will feel that this person is of a high regard, is of a high standard, and so therefore they will show you maybe more respect. You know how single people sometimes say that their family members are constantly on them to get married and to partner up, and so there's a certain lack of respect that single people experience in the world. And so when they partner up with the suitable partner or someone who is desirable, the people around them and their family union get really excited that this person is involved in the life of the family, and that this person elevates the family to a higher and a more prosperous state. So yeah, don't break up with partners that it's working out with. Maybe this person is married already, and you're waiting through for him to divorce because he's not available at this time, and so he needs to divorce in order to really pursue this. So this doesn't necessarily mean that this person that you're involved with is going to be the person who you're going to divorce once you get married. Maybe you're waiting on this person to get a divorce in order to develop your relationship with them. So now let's look at the undercurrents, and the undercurrents are quite interesting because we have the dichotomy of the devil and the Hierophant. So the devil is talking about Satan, and the Hierophant is talking about religion and God. So them side by side together create a really interesting paradox. And the card that they're modifying is the Fool, which is the carte blanche of the trumps, which means that the Fool is like a blank canvas. He's here to learn. His eyes are open wide, and he doesn't really know exactly what to expect out of life. Life is an oyster for him. It's the beginning of his journey. He is ambitious, he is naive, and he's a learner, and so everything that he takes in is an experience. Everything that he takes in is the root of his knowledge and is an imprint on him and forms him. So this is your archetype for the year in terms of the undercurrents of life that are guiding you. And so with justice, clearing your karmic karmic imbalances and life becoming fair for you again this year. You are again susceptible to both the devil and the virtue, and so you will go through some internal, not struggles, but challenges when you're going to be facing opportunities from the dark side and opportunities from the light, and you will need to make decisions and set your own karmic future forth by deciding which one you're going to go with. And of course, I would advise you going with the Hierophant over the devil. The Hierophant can mean Taurus, and the devil does mean Capricorn, so that's something for you to discern. Now, you guys being Capricorn, you'll roll your eyes at me at the association of this card. The devil also signifies the god Pan, and that's a pagan deity from the UK and from Western Europe, and basically Pan is the god of the woods and is the ultimate god, and so there's some discrepancy between how the devil should be read, because he essentially also means joy and merriment in certain discourses, particularly if you are pagan and you believe him to be Pan. But if you're really looking at this through a Christian or a neo-Christian lens, and the Torah, which we're reading here, is the foundation of the 22 cards, we're just talking about the good and the evil. And they're both the structural aspects of good and evil and how we interact with them. So the advice here, I would say, is that as you've stepped in or gotten through the door to a new phase of life where everything's kind of cleared for you and you're emancipated from the things of the past, you're going to be once again faced with primal decisions about the good and the evil of things. And so when you make the decisions between the good and the evil, you will essentially, small decisions at this time will reverberate through your life going forward in great ways. So the snowball effect. So basically things that may seem really small right now, white lies, may turn into giant catastrophic lies in the future. So what you really need to do with this kind of undercurrent is be really truthful and honest in your dealings and really follow God. If you're not Christian, follow whatever kind of deity you believe in, but be really altruistic and honest and in touch with your supreme power, in touch with your energy center, and truthful with yourself about what the purpose of your life is. If you follow or fall into this overly superficial life, then that will also become very problematic for you and snowball. And I think that for you, the problem isn't really going to be the failure of this, of falling to the devil. I think that you will begin a new life, and that's going to spin off into new positive directions, so you don't really have anything to worry about. I think that it'll be a challenge just like anybody else, but I think you're in a very good position to be altruistic and to be that truthful agent in your life. Okay, so the next card down is talking about kind of the historic context that it's leading into the present, as we've discussed. And this is the last part that I'll read before I switch to the second part. So here we have the Hermit. You spent considerable time alone contemplating the reality that brought you to this place and time. Your previous experiences are long behind you, but you've also taken the time through your level-headedness to assess the matters of your life and how they impact you and the consequences of your decisions. And that's really being modified by a worldly perspective as well as your matriarchal line. So this has to do with yourself as a woman, with your partner who is a woman if you do have one, or with your mother's teachings or the influences of your mother on your life. And so the Hermit is talking about getting in touch with the global perspective and with your matriarchal line in the past year in particular, and deriving conclusions that are based on practical level. The Hermit is very practical. He studies statistics, he studies all sorts of different nuances about life, and derives conclusions carefully so that he makes his own choices moving forward that are not influenced by other people's superficial influence or judgment, and he really kind of bases his truth from the best information that he can gather. And so that makes him very strong. He's not susceptible to prejudice. He's not susceptible to being swayed into false hope. He's not susceptible to just looking superficially at things. He's looking through some really large and important lenses, making some decisions forward about his life and how that impacts himself and people around him. And essentially that contemplative state, that meditative state that you have applied to your life has really made you quite strong and has made your year quite strong. And it allows you to kind of grow into yourself and to combine paradoxes and to make sense of all the complexities that are going on for you in your life. All right, so now I'm going to pause the video, and then when you guys click over here to the next video, then I will begin with the future and tying it all in. So thanks very much.